Hello! Don't worry, we're not doing another vlog. We are doing a Shop My Stash video today. So I am finally feeling better. Thank you guys so much for all of your get well wishes in my sick day vlog. That really meant a lot to me. And today, Friday, I am finally feeling better. I still don't fully have my voice. I think I sound okay right now, but it may come in and out. Anyway, we're doing a Shop My Stash. I need to put some makeup on. I feel like it's time. I feel like it's time. I've been looking like death warmed over for the past few days. So let's go ahead and do this. We're going to start with foundation. All right, so here's my first drawer. I see a primer that I have not used in a really long time that I really enjoy, and that's the Sicily Double Tensor. So I'm going to pull that out and use that. I really like this foundation, haven't used it in a while. Let's see what's in the second drawer here. Okay, so we have my cushions here. This I use a lot. This is my Surratt Dewdrop foundation that I love. Use this a lot. I just use this. I haven't used these in a while. Hold on, let me go back here. I think, let's make this a Sicily base day. I haven't used this in a while. I really enjoy it. So yeah, let's pull that out. I think that'll work nicely with the primer too. All right, next we have concealers and powders. So concealers, you know what concealer I've been ignoring is my Armani Power Fabric Concealer. I also have a suspicion that this one is drying out on me. And you know what, we're going to use this today and see if this is something I need to declutter. Powders. Okay. All of these I use frequently. You know what, maybe I'll go for a pressed powder. Yeah, I'm going to use my La Mer pressed powder, which I really love, really have not used in quite some time. So I'm going to pull this one out. Next we have my cream products drawer. Do I want to use any cream products today? I'm going to use one of these Westman Atelier blushes for sure. I have not used these in a while. I think I'm going to use this Petal color. This is the first one I ever purchased from Westman Atelier, and it's such a beautiful neutral pink. So I'm going to pull this one out. I think this will work for a lot of different looks. Since we don't know what exactly we're doing yet, I think this will be a safe bet. But let's move on for now. All right, I've got one of my bronzer drawers down on the ground with me here. I feel like I've used a lot of these fairly recently. I did just use the Bobbi Brown. Let's see. Oh, you know what I haven't used in a while, and I love this, is the Lila Bee Sunkissed Bronzed Beauty. Yeah, we're going to use this bronzer today. This is such a beautiful bronzer. So I'm going to pull this out. All right, next up is highlights. So I pulled out a drawer that I feel like I haven't tapped in a while because I have three highlighter drawers. Anyway, so yeah, I'm trying to stay away from limited edition ones or ones that just aren't around anymore. So we have some Natasha Denona. I actually haven't used these in a while. Kind of forgot about these. I love these. So I have all three colors of her Super Glow Duochrome highlights. So this one is number 1 fair, this one is number 2, and then this one is number 3 bronze, which I actually really enjoyed. Okay, I think I'll use, which one did I like better? I think I liked fair. Oh my god, it's been that long, I can't even remember. Well, I'm going to go ahead and use fair. I think that'll probably work best for me now anyway. I have so many drawers of eyeshadow that we're just going to do this, like, I'm just going to be standing here kind of pulling them out and talking through them. But I've only got one hand, so this is going to be a little bit more difficult. So this is, like, most of my single shadows. I'm going to come back to that if I want to do singles. And then I have, nope, those are highlighters. Then I have some Natasha larger shadow palettes. Some of the smaller ones, and then I've got, what's back there? Laura Mercier Persona. That is a possibility. Oh, I also have that Charlotte Tilbury Icon palette in the back. Okay. We have all my Pat McGrath ones. We have some, well, we have some other single shadows here. We have the Victoria Beckham Smoky Eye Bricks. Some random ones, some NARS back there, Lila B. Bobbi Brown, Kevin Aquan, Hourglass, Smashbox. And then we have, let's see, Anastasia Beverly Hills, some more NARS, Chantecaille. Gosh, I really don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. Let's see. You know, I'm thinking actually about decluttering some of these ABH palettes because I never use them. Yeah, maybe I should just pull one out and use it and just see, you know, whether or not I want to keep it. So I think I'm going to pull out the Noir Vina. I feel like that's the first one I would get rid of. I feel like that's the one I've used the least. So I'm going to pull out this Noir Vina palette. I really liked this palette when I first got it. I just thought it was so pretty with the pinks and purples. I definitely used it quite a bit. But I wanted to open this up and kind of take a look at it because we got to look at some lip colors now. You know, now that I'm looking at these drawers, I think, you know what, I'm just going to have to do the whole makeup look and then decide what I want to use. I think it's just too overwhelming right now to decide. So let's get to putting this stuff on my face and then we'll pick a lip product. All right, we're starting with the Sicily Double Tensor. Oh God, is that a dog hair? Nope, that's a booger. Hang on. Usually it's dog hair, but when you're sick, it's gonna be a booger. All right, so the Sicily Double Tensor Primer is on. This was a product that I had to use to believe. I kind of didn't believe all the hype around it. I think Jeffree Star talked about it, Tati talked about it, even Kathleen Lights, I think, has mentioned this primer. Like almost every big YouTuber down to small YouTuber that I followed loves this primer, and I just resisted it. Even though I love Sicily, I love their products, I just resisted it. And then finally I tried it, and the hype is definitely real. The hype is definitely real. It leaves your skin really, really tacky, which is not my favorite thing in the entire world, but it does like just make your foundation go on like really, really smoothly, and it's like a giant suction cup for all of your makeup, and it really does just such a great job. I feel like this is like and if you watch Stranger Things, you'll understand, this is like the upside down world to setting spray. It's like if you put this on first, it acts like a setting spray and just like keeping your makeup on. And then if you put setting spray on top, it's like your makeup won't move for like days. So that's the Sicily Double Tensor Primer. I feel like the hype surrounding this is real. Real. All right, next up, I took out the Sicily Anti-Aging Foundation, and I have it in the shade 0R Vanilla. And I remember this took me a very long time to get my shade match. I was going between, I think, like the 4 lightest shades, and it was like none of them were quite right. This one was the closest. I haven't used this in a while, and I can't even remember like why this was a little off. I think it was the undertone. Well, we'll see. Let's put this on my face and see what the deal is. This is such a lovely foundation. I think the Sicily base products are so good. Their tinted sunscreen, this foundation, the cushion foundation, they're all just so amazing. They really just outdo themselves whenever they do a base product. Do you see how this foundation just spreads evenly and like just with one stroke? And it's a mix of this foundation and this primer. It's so good. It's so magical. Look at that. I just did something to my contact lens. Oh, there. Oh, good. I love it when it just pops right back into place. Okay, while I'm wiping my hands off, might I just mention, since I'm kind of going on about Sicily, I've been sick, my skin just freaks out when I'm not feeling well. I get like little eczema patches. The skin around my nose starts to flake from blowing it so much. I just get these weird things going on. And yesterday I was like, I need to like do something. So I showered and then I like sat in a bath and I decided to put on the Sicily Velvet sleeping mask, because this mask has always worked magic. Whenever I feel like my skin's looking really dull, tired, just kind of sallow, this just like, I don't know, it just kind of like invigorates my complexion and my skin. I had never used this in terms of like sick skin, but I was like, this has just been such an all-around magical product. And I put it on yesterday and I feel like my skin is like back to normal, and it was not looking good. You guys saw it in the vlog. It just, I was having like weird patches on my eyes, like all these like super strange things were popping up on my face. And I put like a pretty generous amount of this all over, and I just sat in the bath. My skin just like soaked it all up. I didn't even have to like wipe away any excess. My skin just was like, just sucked it all up. And I got out of the bath, and it was like this immediate remedy for my skin. It was just perfect. And I've talked about how much I love this mask before, but I just thought I would mention it because I'm surprised at how like decent my skin looks today, and so much better than the way it looked just yesterday. So wanted to mention that. Let me just continue putting this foundation on. I just want to put a little bit more around my eyes here. And this foundation is so lovely. I feel like this is one of those foundations I just forget about in my collection because it really is just so skin-like that it's like almost invisible. The coverage is there, but it's not makeup-y. It doesn't necessarily have like a radiance to it, but it's not matte. It's so middle of the road in every way that it's so flawless that I forget about it, if that makes any sense. But it's really just such an impeccable foundation. I just love it. All right, I've got my Armani Power Fabric Concealer, and this concealer, I feel like maybe I mentioned this before this video, but I feel like this concealer is drying out and it's starting to look a little dry under my eyes. So this is kind of like a chopping block situation. Oh, same with the Noir Vina. Wow, I have a couple on the chopping block products here, and hopefully this is still good. Hopefully it was just kind of a fluke the one time I used it, but I would be very disappointed because I do have concealers in my collection that are older than this one that still look fine. So hopefully it was a fluke. I'm gonna use just a little bit. I feel like sometimes if I use too much, it'll look cakey. I just hope that, you know, it doesn't look dry or anything as the day wears on. All right, I also picked out the Westman Atelier Baby Cheeks Blush Stick. I don't know why that name always makes me giggle. Baby Cheeks Blush Stick. And I picked out the color Petal. I have two other colors, but this is the first one that I purchased just because it's so neutral and natural, and it goes with like any kind of look. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Refer P24 brush. This is like their dense blush brush, and I'm going to just run it across the blush here and kind of stipple it on both cheeks here. It's like the most natural looking flush ever. I don't know why I decided to apply it this way. Sometimes I've just swiped it right onto my cheeks, and that works fine too. And then I'll blend it out with my finger. I'll blend it out with a brush. I know I've used it with a sponge too. It's worked well for me anyway. I don't know. I just felt like doing it this way this time for no particular reason. But let's go ahead and move over into powder. So I grabbed my La Mer pressed powder. I love this powder. I just haven't been using it. I really have fallen in love with loose powders, which was something that I used to stay away from, and I used to only kind of use pressed powders. But yeah, I just generally use my loose powder, especially to set my face, but we're gonna use this one today. And I'm just going to pounce this all over. So there's the powder applied. God, it looks really good. I kind of forgot how much I like this powder. It really does like a nice job blurring. I feel like a filter's over my face now. Okay, this is like a winning combo right now. I feel like my skin looks really good. Oh, and this mask. This mask for sure. I need to put on lip balm. I did put on lip balm, but again, because I'm just like a mouth breather right now, I need to layer some more stuff on. I'm just gonna use my Chanel Hydra Beauty lip balm. All right, next let's go into bronzer. I pulled out the Lila B Sunkissed bronzer. I've had this for quite some time, and I used it a lot. Maybe not last summer, but the summer before. That's how long I've had this. But it's still wonderful, and it still works beautifully. So I'm going to go ahead and use the Refer P22 brush. This is a giant bronzer brush, and I washed it and kept it in a brush guard, so it needs to kind of fluff out again, but hopefully it'll do so with this application. There, it's just really, really natural, and it has just the slightest bit of sheen to it. Not a lot, no glitters or anything, just almost like a demi-matte satin kind of finish. I love it. It's so natural and has such a beautiful tone. You know, it's like just slightly warm. It really is like sun-kissed, like the name says. All right, I've got my Sony G Sculpt 2 brush, and I'm going to go into the Natasha Denona Super Glow Powder in 01 Fair. And this was like a long time favorite of mine. And it's just gotten lost in the mix. Wow, look at that. Look at that shine. Love this, still love this. Wow, I gotta pull out the number 2. I think it would be a little bit less icy than this one. If I remember correctly, like the depth of tone was similar. I felt like it could work for light, medium skin tones, but one was kind of cooler than the other. And yeah, now I'm remembering. Fair was cooler, number 2 was just a little bit warmer, but they were like, they look almost the same in the pan. This next product I'm going to use, I didn't actually pull out in the beginning of this video because I just kind of forgot about eyebrows in general, but I thought I would take out my Dior, what is this? The Dior Backstage Brow Palette. I really enjoyed this palette when I first got it. I'm not someone that uses like brow powders very often. You guys know I love a brow mascara. It's just easier. But when I got this, it was the first time I was using one, and I really enjoyed it. And there's a little bit of a learning curve because I had never used one of these waxes before, and many people told me to use it before. Like, that's how you're supposed to use it. They had seen some, you know, makeup artists use it that way. It's supposed to help like the powders like stick or whatever, but it never really worked out well for me. I like using the powder and then using the setting wax on top. I don't know. That's just how it worked better for me. So I have this in the shade 001 Light. And I remember this was confusing when I purchased it because I thought I purchased 002. And then when I got it, I thought the box said 002, but then this said 001 Light. And honestly, when I go into store and look, I can barely tell the difference between 1 and 2. So this is labeled as 001 Light. So I'm going to go with that. I'm going to go with that, but I'm not really sure. So I'm going to use my Scott Barnes 59 brush, and I'm going to go into the darker shade here. And wow, I haven't done this in a while. I'm just going to start kind of brushing it in. And I start in the middle of my brow just so I don't plop too much down like in the front here. I'm just going to stamp some hair-like strokes in the front there. And then I'm going to take this spoolie and just go into the wax a little bit here and just brush that through. I feel like I just gave myself like Kim Novak brows, but that's okay. That's okay. I usually like a pretty lame wispy brow, but we'll go with it. Moving on to Noir Vina. I really have not used this in such a long time, and jeez. And as you can tell, I really loved it quite a bit. Yeah, this is definitely on the chopping block, as with many of my Anastasia Beverly Hills palettes, except for the Mario one. That one, I just love that one. But the Modern Renaissance, this one, and the Soft Glam. The Soft Glam is definitely probably the last one that I would, out of the 3 that I would get rid of. But the Modern Renaissance, I think I just have to get rid of. It's so old at this point, and I never really reach for it. This one is definitely newer. I just don't reach for it anymore. So let's see how it goes. Let's see if my love is rekindled for it after using it today. I'm gonna start with my Sonia G Blender Pro Brush. I'm gonna go into Incense, which is this matte brown shade. I almost forgot how powdery ABH shadows are. Woo! Alright, just gonna take my Detail Pro brush and run it over just to make sure it's blended out. You know, these metallic shades up here are so messy that all of these matte shades here have a little bit of like metallic glint in them now because of all like the fallout. So I feel like even though this is supposed to be matte, I don't know if you guys can see it, there's like some shimmer in there, and that's from this Wild Child shade above it. It's just gotten in there. Anyway, wow, this is really messy. This one's Summer, it's a little bit golder, and then this one is Dazzling, which is a little bit more like cool toned, more like a rose gold. Maybe I'll use that. This one's Dazzling. I'm just gonna take what's on my pinky and just place this. Ooh, that is pretty. And I fat fingered it, of course. It's like all over down here. Yeah. Yeah, these metallics are so nice. They're really, really creamy. I'm gonna take that original Blender Pro brush and just run it along the edges. All right, let's try the pinky again. I'm sure I will fat finger it all over the place. That is such a pretty metallic shade. I mean, has anyone even tried these double-ended brushes from ABH that they stick in these palettes? I think I've never even tried using them. They feel really, this blender feels really rough. Really rough. This one actually doesn't feel quite so bad. Maybe I'll use this. Let's try it. I'm gonna go into Volatile, which is this matte brown here, and just add this to the outer corner here. All right, well, it placed the shadow down nicely. It didn't blend very well. So I'm going in with this Sonia G Blender Pro. Actually, just for shits and giggles, let's try the other side of this and see how this does. This is very, very scratchy. Wow. You know, and for such a rough, scratchy brush, it doesn't blend out that well. This side isn't bad. This side is atrocious. Wow. Okay. And then I'm going to go in with my Refer 13 brush. I'm just going to go into Dreamer over here. This is the lightest shimmery shade, and add this to like the inside of my lid here. I have a lot of fallout. A lot of fallout from these shadows. Goodness me, I have so much fallout here. Holy cow. And now that I'm inspecting my under eyes, that concealer, it's like drying up. I'm gonna zoom in here, see if you guys can see it, but it's starting to make my under eyes look really wrinkly. And this concealer never used to do that before. When I first got it, probably like the first 3 months I used it, it was awesome. I mean, so great, super high coverage, didn't sink into my fine lines, but now I feel like it's like crackly a little bit. Yeah, I think it's time for this guy to go. I just feel like it's dried up a little bit. Disappointing, but you know, I have had it for a while. So goodbye, Armani Power Fabric Concealer. And this Noir Vina, it was going well until I realized how much fallout I have. I forgot about that. I really forgot about that with ABH shadows. Yeah, I'm gonna declutter this as well. And the concealer, where did that crappy brush go? Oh, here it is. The ABH brush going in here, and I'm gonna say goodbye to this palette. Another thing I forgot to pick out with you while we were actually shopping my stash is like an eyeliner of some sort. So I just pulled out the Trish McEvoy 24-hour eyeshadow and liner. This is actually more of like a shadow stick, but much like her intense gel eyeliners that I've recommended to you guys because it just stays put. Same with this guy. It just doesn't move, and I really like the shimmeriness of this one. So I'm basically going to use this as eyeliner. Let's see how careful I can get and not fat finger this whole thing too. All right, just gonna curl my eyelashes and throw on some mascara. I've just been going between the Tom Ford Badass Mascara, the Tom Ford Lash Raise Mascara, and the By Terry Lash Expert. So I just kind of like put my hand in my mascara drawer and pulled out the Badass Mascara. It's the first one I grabbed, probably because it's so giant. I don't know if I ever pointed this out to you, but the tube of this is so big. Anyway, that's probably why I grabbed it. All right, well, we were holding off on a lip choice to see like what my look would kind of steer us towards. My look is actually fairly neutral. I do have really dry lips because of my cold. So I think I am just gonna do kind of like a lip gloss. Like, ugh, my lips are just peeling. It's ugly. It's ugly. So I'm gonna pull out some lip glosses to audition. Okay, I've picked out 3, and all 3 of these I love and haven't used in a while. So we have a Surratt lip luster in, why? We have to Google pronounce this, hold on.
Soigné.
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 Soigné. What does that mean? Oh, it means well-groomed and sleek. Okay, wow, you learn something new every day. All right, so I have that color from Surratt, Soigné. And then I have the Clé de Peau Radiant Lip Gloss in 1 Rose Quartz. I love this lip gloss. It doesn't look like much, but it has that milkiness and it feels so great on the lips. And that's probably why I picked it out, because my lips are so dry. So we have that one. And then we have the Chantecaille Brilliant Lip Gloss in Lucky. And I picked this one out because it has more of a peachy tinge, while these two are pink. So let's try the Chantecaille. Okay, there is Lucky. That looked a little bit too nothing, which makes me think this is going to be even more nothing. So I'm going to go straight to the Soigné color. I like that. I'm going to go with this one today. So the Surratt Lip Luster in Soigné. All right, here is the final look for this Shop My Stash. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I am definitely feeling better, so thank you guys so much for all of your get well wishes. They really meant a lot to me when I was going through the comments for that sick day vlog. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for all of your encouraging words about vlogs in general. They're not really easy for me to do, and you know, I had a lot of fun doing it, but it's just such a different way of filming. But anyway, thank you so much for your supportive words, and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe down below if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video.